Well, hey everybody. Welcome back. Just out here in the shop working, but I got some stuff done. Mr. Lars come over. I said I wasn't shooting no videos on this truck anymore, but you know. But Mr. Lars come over and stuff, and we got quite a bit done. Hang on. We got air conditioner back on, hoses back on. Oh, that's still a nightmare. But I'll figure it out. There's no way to put the back bracket on to support the rear of this with where this is at, because it's made for everything to be sitting over here. And you got what I'm saying? So we got to do some bending around, and I want to make sure the guy that owns this truck's here when I start bending on that stuff. That way when it breaks, it's his call. But yeah, got all that done. Got this over here. Still trying to get this dryer out. This side we got loose. This side is like welded in. Want the guy that owns the truck here when I start putting heat to it so he understands, and see if we can, if he brings down a new dryer. We've tried 2 blower motors he had. Neither one of them would fit. The fans was too deep. And if you look down in here, you see that rust where it's rusted out? That should be closed all the way around. It just that fan sits up in there pretty close to that, man, just encases it and pulls air from up in here and pushes it back through the cab, or here, and then pushes it back through the cab. There it is, yeah. So, I don't know if you can see this. If you look down in here, let me get my finger in there. You see this gap? See, there's some foam up here. But from here all the way down, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. There's nothing there. So it's going to constantly be pulling air from outside and introducing it into the cab, right? Well, we talked about this, and he wanted to put some, he didn't want to put foam in there or nothing like that. He was wanting to put RTV, and I'm like, well, yeah, I got that, but then you need to run up here to the parts place real quick and get a whole tube of that stuff. I mean, not tube, but a caulking gun to fix that, right? So my idea is, might be a bad idea, but hang on. This stuff right here, plumber's putty, right? It's pliable. It's pretty much chemical resistant in the right, environment. So if we plug all them big holes with that stuff, and it never hardens, of course, I'm gonna let it sit there for a couple days. And let it harden on the outside. And then my thought was go on the inside and the outside with some silicone and just create a gasket, right? That's gonna be taking every bit of this stuff back apart, and then run down the gaskets and everything that fit to that firewall or whatever needs to be done. And I'm telling you, this thing is in pretty bad shape right up in here. This whole box, the metal part of it, needs to be replaced. But that's where we're on this. Air conditioner back on it, waiting on the blower motor, waiting on him to be here before we start bending on hoses or piping. That, honestly, he's got like $200. in these hoses, right? So here you go. Here's a funny one. So he buys these hoses, right, for a 1970 CST 10 350, right? No problem. Here comes the problem. If you look at how this is all set up back here, it's supposed to be clamped from this side, right? So the air conditioner's supposed to sit over here. So I had to measure all this stuff out. I'm sure if y'all guys watched, and been paying attention to this thing, you seen me do it or I talked about it. So we get all that, I measured all, everything's cool. But now I gotta bend this pipe, period, back, in order to get the brace from here up under this hose and into where it'll tighten down. He needs to be here for that. He needs to see what the problem was, right? Don't want to start bending on that stuff and crack something and then I got to hear about it. Lost my train of thought. But there you go, man. We come to a standstill on the inside of the truck. I got the heater box, everything back on there. It took me about all day. Got all that stuff back in there, and he was here, and I looked at him. I said, well, do you remember what hoses are defroster outlets? What holes are air conditioner outlets? He goes, I don't know. Ain't none of that stuff ever been hooked up. So then we came out here, and that's where we ended up with the blower motor and why the hinge is off. I was like, well, need to get the blower motor in there. Of course, none of the motors work. We started checking the electrical on it, but I told him, never mind. So went through the whole electrical circuit on the heat, the blower motor, all that kind of stuff. Came down to a faulty switch, right there by the damper controls, that switch the air everywhere, high, low, medium, fan. So, I told him, I said, look, you need a switch. He goes, well, no. Well, that ain't what he said. He goes, he just started fussing. Oh, crap, that's going to be $25, $30. I'm going to have to wait 2 weeks. And I'm like, well, heck with it. So I take it out and I said, hey, I'll just take the darn thing apart. I said, if it's wore out, I'll tell you. If it's not, we'll just sand some stuff down. It'll be fine. So got that done. Put it back up in there. Electric and everything's working over to the fan. We got 3 speeds. So just waiting on that to come in. It's all just bullcrap. Now, I said I wasn't going to work on this thing, but this is weekend number 1. Weekend number 2, we'll see. He has apologized for the way if you watch the videos, the way things went down the other night, but I understand what his problem is. But anyway, man, there you go. Like I said, air conditioner on. Got to do some bending on some pipes to get the bracket and stuff on. Everything's run over to here. This one just waiting to be hooked up down here. Need to get this off. This side's stuck. Not going to heat that up unless he's here, so he understands. And he's supposed to bring a new dryer. If he does that, I got no problem with just heating the heck out of that aluminum until that metal comes loose. Still looking for a fan. Inside is just the hoses. And this thing's done. I mean, it is. So, anyway, a little update. I don't know what to tell you past that. I just don't know, you know, shooting videos on what we've been doing the last few days would take more time than it was worth to get the amount of work done. So that's why there's no videos on how to, what to. We were just mounting the air conditioner up. We was running hoses. Wasn't no big deal, you know. When I get under the dash and start messing with, let me back up a minute. I should have videoed messing with that switch because it's just a mechanical switch. It's not an electronic thing. That's something everybody should know. But anyway, when I get in there and start messing with the gas gauge and all that stuff, we'll see what happens, and I'll video that stuff. Let's see. We did get everything done on the rear end. Well, as far as he wanted to go. It ain't been started in a couple of weeks. Well, yeah, in about a week and a half. It ain't been started. Still got to adjust the brake pedal rod up, just to get him off my butt because they ain't got no brakes. But it's just he wants to pile up a bunch of stuff. Never mind. Got that to do if it can be done. And that's about it, man. I mean, it's ready to go. You know, he's laid off me on the interior stuff. He does want to put the headliner on it and the dash pad. I get it, right? He's bought new shoulder harness seat belts to go in it. I get it. They're already out. You bought them. You got them hooked up. All we got to do, we got to put the seat back in it anyway, so why not? And that's about it, man. Anyway, just to update. I know it's 12 minutes, but it's hard to explain everything you do. But anyway, y'all take care. Appreciate you watching, subscribing, liking, leave comments. Let me know what you think about my idea on the plumber's putty and making a gasket out of it. That kind of thing. But anyway, hope you and yours are doing great and everybody's home and safe. We'll see you on the next one.